Righteous anger. If we own it, it becomes a powerful tool. If it owns us, we are far less useful. This is Dale Byron on Poetry, and I want to get right into the poem today. I have a poet who I think has really nailed this kind of showing us what righteous anger actually looks like. Her name is Audre Lorde, and the poem is called A Litany for Survival. It goes like this. For those of us who live at the shoreline, for those of us who live at the shoreline, standing upon the constant edges of decision, crucial and alone. For those of us who cannot indulge the passing dreams of choice, who love in doorways, coming and going, in the hours between dawns, looking inward and outward, at once, before and after, seeking a now that can breed futures like bread in our children's mouths, so their dreams will not reflect the death of ours. For those of us who were imprinted with fear, for those of us who were imprinted with fear, like a faint line in the center of our foreheads, learning to be afraid with our mother's milk, for by this weapon, this illusion of some safety to be found, the heavy-footed hoped to silence us. For all of us, this instant and this triumph, we were never meant to survive. And when the sun rises, we are afraid, the poem goes on. And when the sun rises, we are afraid. It might not remain. It might not remain. When the sun sets, we are afraid. It might not rise in the morning. When our stomachs are full, we are afraid of indigestion. When our stomachs are empty, we are afraid we may never eat again. When we are loved, we are afraid love will vanish. When we are alone, we are afraid love will never return. When we are alone, we're afraid that love will never return. And when we speak, and when we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard nor welcomed. But when we are silent, we are still afraid. But when we are silent, we are still afraid. So it is better to speak, remembering we were never meant to survive. But when we are silent, we are still afraid. We are still afraid. So it is better to speak, remembering we were never meant to survive. Audre Lorde, A Litany for Survival. I think she describes she gets it right. This is what effective righteous anger looks like. And it made me also think, if you look at her life, she was, by her own description, a Black lesbian mother warrior poet. I love that. She dedicated her life and creative talent to confronting and addressing injustices of racism, sexism, classism, and homophobia. She had a wonderful quote as well. She said, women are powerful and dangerous. Women are powerful and dangerous. So yes, this is a great example of what righteous anger actually looks like. It's not ignoring the fear, but it is stepping into it. So it is better. But when we are silent, says the protagonist in the poem, we are still afraid. So it is better. So it is better. So it is better to speak, remembering we were never meant to survive. Righteous anger, if we own it, it is a powerful tool. If it owns us, it makes us less effective. So we know what we must do. Okay. Thank you for your listening ear as always. Until next time. And next poem, take good care of yourself. And if you can, take good care of someone else.